Hello. Hello. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm doing good.
Oh, that's good to hear. What what happened yesterday? What the one
Uh,
you talked about?
oh, just we had we had a shooting at the end of the street here, associated with a bar that's around the corner. Unfortunately, and a 28-year-old guy was killed. Unfortunately,
God. Is it okay now?
do I?
No one is joined. It's okay. Let's start.
Yeah, we can start, or we can wait a minute if you want. I'm just posting. Um, just posting on the chat.
Let's wait for them.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the MangaFY live chat. I guess we can get started whenever you want to.
So let's start.
Yeah, we can start.
Hi everyone, I'm Athena. Today I am with Mikia today to talk about writing and illustrating. I get tons of questions about it and yeah, we'll talk about it further today. First, let's have Mikia. Mikia, how are things are going?
They're going pretty good. Um, Had a few slowdowns the past couple of months, but starting to pick back up on a few things. So,
Oh, how's your novel going? Were you planning to publish it as a webcomic or just a novel?
right now I'm currently working on several projects. I've got about 12 in the works. I've got um, 3 novels, a Netflix miniseries that I'm working on, and then some webtoons and some manga that I'm working on. So quite a bit. I've got quite a few projects that I'm currently working on.
You're
Um,
still writing it, right?
do what?
You're still on the writing phase?
Yeah, I'm. Well, some of them I'm still in the writing stage. Some of them I'm getting to the point of doing art. Some of them I'm still in research mode because I do a lot of research on some of my projects, especially ones that are dealing with historical facts.
Yes.
So yeah, so I've got several projects spread across are in different all in different um, stages of work right now. So
I actually got a lot of questions in from Facebook.
okay.
Yumiko asks how writers pronounce dialogues on every novels because I've been trying to find myself how to, what to, and where to start, how to get my characters talk or doing a conversations.
Um, so how do you start? If you're a writer, just start writing. If you have an idea, write that idea down. Don't let your pen stay static. Is the best way that I could say it. Unfortunately, as somebody that calls themselves a writer, I spend about 90% of my time thinking or researching. So sometimes I have to push myself when I start getting into that mindset of research to actually just start writing. So you do want to you don't want to sit on it, but just if you have an idea, start writing about it. Start working on it.
Yes. The next one is about illustrating. Isa Ryu asks about I really need guidance on how to do this as future webcomic illustrator, adding dynamics effects, typewriting, and paneling is what I'm really looking for.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
Isa Ryu, I really need guidance on how to do this as future webcomic illustrator. Adding dynamic effects, typewriting, and paneling is what I am really looking for. So she's asking a question about how to illustrate.
How to illustrate? Basically, start. I start with a script or or for myself, it's either based off of the script that I write or an idea that I have. And I basically I start with a stick figure or a quick model and just go off of that. Start building off of that. You know, start off with a pose. Start off with an idea. Um, some of my some of the things that I've done, some of the characters that I've drawn have just been based off of just weird ideas or just started off as a joke. So I would just draw, you know, based off of that. So it um, you really just want to just start drawing, but practice. Step outside of your comfort zone with your drawings or your illustrations. Even look at some of the stuff that other people have done and find things to start drawing. Uh, you know,
Yes.
just
But
it doesn't have to be anything specific. It could even be, you know, a piece of fruit sitting on your desk that you could start drawing. You know, it just practice. And as you improve your art and as you get there with your art, you will
yeah,
start putting your art out there, you know, on your portfolio and stuff. You'll start attracting clients to you.
but if you actually draw, that's when you start learning things, what to do and not to.
Yeah.
You will also notice it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you really want to learn, guys, about illustrating webcomic, you should follow this guy. He is a YouTuber and webcomic creator. His name is Walter Osley. He had 25.1K subscribers. But I was also thinking of doing this in the future, but soon. So the next question is from Arin Diasis. I want to know how to start webtoon or webcomics. I'm interested in making one, but I have no idea.
Um,
That
Start with an idea. And um, if you can't find an idea, or if you don't have an idea, find somebody that does. Um, you know, whether it's you know, if you're an artist, if you're, this is I coming to it as an artist first. I'll explain this. Is um, if you're wanting to work on a project and you don't have an idea, but you're an artist, find a writer that does.
find writers in MangaFY.
Right, exactly. You use MangaFY, MangaFY dot club, and just, you know, find projects to work on. That's a good way to get your start in the industry. If you're a writer and you want to get into creating, start writing a script. Start with a basic script. Start with um,
Scribbles.
yeah. Start with storyboards. Grab
Yes.
something here. Um,
Oh,
I use what? Let's see here. Where are they? For my I'll start with a basic script. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I start with a basic
wow.
script. And then what I do from there
It's a lot.
is I will just basic stick figures. And
Wow.
I've created a template for when I'm creating a manga. You could also do a paper template for when you're doing a webtoon. And if you
Yes.
just if you're not an artist but you're a writer but you have an idea, just use stick figures. And you can, work out your spacing and work out what you're wanting to do, and then you submit that to an artist that you're working with, and your artist will actually do what they do best. But even somebody that does their own art, I start out the same way. I just use basic stick figures, kind of work out my timing, work out my poses. It doesn't have to be perfect. I've got a All right, I've got a book here. This is actually by the this book is by the author of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let's see here.
Oh, the book, but I haven't read.
It's kind of, if you can see it, that's their storyboards. They are just scribbles. So you're as a writer, you don't have to be an artist to create storyboards, but just have a basic understanding of doing layouts and stuff like that. I'm going to be doing some video classes on actually doing storyboards.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. So, but basically just, like I said, start writing or just start doing art, and, look for projects or create projects on like MangaFY, and get yourself out there.
Yes.
Find inspiration, whatever inspires your story that you want to do. I've actually done some projects with some people where I've actually I go through my playlist and I pick out a song, and we'll storyboard and kind of illustrate the song. Just to kind of to find ways to practice and improve ourselves.
You can actually have ideas by listening to music, watching movies, right?
A lot of my ideas come to me in the shower or while I'm sleeping. That's another thing. Keep a notepad by your bed.
Even though you're about to sleep, run.
If you wake up from a dream, write it down. You never know what you can use. In fact, one of my stories that I'm working on, it's going to be a manga series, but it's based off of a dream that I started having when I was about 6 or 7 years old, that I started having this dream, and so right now I'm just trying to flesh it out and get it to where it should be.
You still remember your dream when you're 6 years old?
I do. I'm weird. I still remember stuff from when I was like 18 months old. So
how is that possible? Oh my God.
I've got a photographic memory.
Long-term memory.
Yeah, and that was what was that, like? That was 40 years ago that I remember stuff from when I was a baby. So yeah, I've got a really long-term memory. So
you were born, like, do you remember?
Yeah, well, when I was 18 months old, I remember stuff.
Oh. Okay. We have more questions here. Okay, this one is, really longer, so bear with me. This question is from Evie, Darling, Darling Evie. How do you write your story to translate it into comic panels? How do you think the dialogue when writing the story or focus mainly on what's to happen in the scenes? Do you think it's important to flesh out every single character in the world you're writing about, or do you feel that's necessarily tough to do?
You don't have to flesh out every single character, because some characters are in the background, others are, like your main characters. I would flesh them out. However, as you write your characters will grow, and you will flesh out your character. I use a character information sheet. Um, here.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've got my character information sheets. Um,
Wow.
I
and
was half expecting a D&D character sheet.
it kind of is. It really kind of is. And I start out with just basic information like their age, their name, basic, description of them and stuff like that. Some of the stuff is a little bit more things that already got figured out. But as I'm writing them, I'll go back into my character sheets and I'll start filling out more stuff. As they evolve throughout the story, I'll be adding to it. I keep notes of where they're at in the story. And I also keep notes of when that change takes place. So if I do a flashback to that character in the past, I don't have to, I know when they developed this power or, so like if they didn't, if they didn't have a certain power at the beginning of the story, but they got the power a little later, I'll keep track of, either how old they were when that power developed or one of those things. Um, so but really, if you're really wanting to help develop your characters, I actually have several D&D books that I've got. Use the D&D character sheet if you want, or if you want, I've got mine where you can download it. And we're also working on adding those some more features to MangaFY to flesh out characters as well. So we're going to have that. But, you know, um, a lot of times when I start writing, I'm not even worried really about my characters. I start with the idea, and then I'll start figuring out my characters, and then from there I go to my dialogue. My characters are somewhat at the forefront, but not quite, and then I start adding characters. Like, I'm halfway through writing my novel right now, and I just figured out that I needed to add another character to my book. And I've had to go back all the way to chapter 1 to start adding this character in, like sprinkling in that this character's there. So, sometimes that happens. You get all the way through a project like a novel, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, I need to put this character in. Which, with the novel, you've got a little bit more flexibility. It depends on your writing cycle for manga. One of them that I've got planned that I'm doing the entire script first, because we're not gonna. It's gonna be a webtoon, but I'm not even releasing the first episode until the last episode is illustrated. That way I can set it on a release date. But that way I can work out everything in the script first and my storyboards, and before we actually start illustrating, because we don't want to have to go back and be like, oops, we forgot something that should have been there. So some people, they do it so that they're doing it week by week, or they're just making it up on the spot. Or some of us do it so that we're like a few weeks ahead, so that we're, like we're writing the script like maybe 4 or 5 episodes ahead, and then the illustrations being done about 2 weeks ahead, and then releasing what's been done, as we're releasing it. So, you've kind of got to figure out your time schedule and when you're wanting to release stuff. And how you're wanting to go through your production cycle as to how fleshed out your characters are and all of that before you actually start going to the illustration phase and all of that.
Are you going to draw your novel or you're hire an artist?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you going to draw them yourself or you will hire an artist to do it?
This one project that I've got coming up, I've already got one artist that's going to be working on everything. I'll be doing some of the art myself. I've got some character ideas in my head. Some of the character ideas I'll leave up to my artist for designs and stuff like that. Other things I'll be, with my backgrounds for this series, it's going to be based off of actual real locations. So I'm actually going out to do photo shoots for location photo shoots. And then those will be dropped into a program like Clip Studio Paint, where I can convert them into more of a drawing style. And then the characters will be illustrated on top of those converted photos. So how you do how you do stuff and all that will be based off of how you want your art and everything. So that's going to be a lot of fun to do.
Yes. Next question from Charles Maanya. When sketching your webcomic to its final piece, what comes to your mind?
I think it just depends on the drawing. Some of it comes down to the emotion that I want to convey. Some of it comes down to, just some of my thoughts go to like, I hope they enjoy this. Other times it's, what am I going to, sometimes it's based off of what I've got to get done next. So it, as I'm finishing up an illustration, it really depends on the subject matter as to what I'm thinking about. So, but a lot of times it's about emotion, or the emotion that I'm wanting to convey.
Like when you sketch something and you felt like, oh, this is it. I felt the emotion.
Yeah.
Anger.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a kind of a feedback as to, does this make me laugh? Is this making me laugh? Is this going to make, is this going to make my audience laugh, or, or is this going to make them cry? It really depends.
All right. As an illustrator, what hardships you encounter the most? Like difficulties.
Difficulties? Like, are you asking what kind of difficulties I have when drawing certain things? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes.
Um, the difficulties that I have, it varies. Like when I get into a mode of drawing like one character over and over and over again, or a set of characters over and over again, sometimes it can be kind of difficult to break out of that and jump into illustrating other things. Um, so sometimes you get kind of locked into a mindset. That's one difficulty that I have sometimes. So it's like this isn't working out. So I kind of have to. Sometimes I do have to take a break from everything to switch over to a different either style or a different character.
Yeah. Is it all right if I also ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Um, yeah. When it comes to comic making, does it help if your story already has a definite ending? Like you already know how it ends?
Um, Sometimes it does. Sometimes it could actually be a hindrance because if your story has an actual ending, sometimes you kind of get locked into a mindset, and it's like I have to make it end this way. But then sometimes when you get to the middle, it's like your story, depending on, especially if you're doing a really long run story and you've got this idea of how you want it to end, but all of a sudden your story starts going a completely different direction, and it's like you've got this really cool ending that you've got planned, and it's like sometimes you could just have to let go of you might have to let go of it or use that ending for something else. So so sometimes having an ending can be kind of constraining for you. Other times it can be kind of liberating that you already know how you've already got something planned to end. So does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
So, Charles asks, so you basically take a break or a rest?
Um, sometimes I'll watch something. I'll either watch a TV show or an anime or pick up a book or something that has nothing to do with what I'm working on currently, or that's going to be completely different from what I'm working on to kind of get my mind out of. Um, it actually works really well. Also, if you've got writer's block, for myself, that is just getting away from the project sometimes, because you just get so close to it that you just get set into it. And so finding something that gets your mind off of it um, does sometimes help. But a lot of time, a rest for me um, could be, you know, either picking, like I said, watching something or playing a video game or, just going for a drive or a walk or, you know, just getting away from whatever you're working on.
When did you actually start writing and thinking about graphic novel?
Um,
What year? Like how long?
I'm trying to understand the question. So
Like
when are you asking like
when did you realize that, oh, I like writing, I like
um
doing
oh,
this?
okay I actually didn't get into writing. Well, I started writing. When was that? The project that I'm actually going to be starting on in about 3 months. When did I start on that? That was back in 2006. I started writing the script. It was kind of the idea for a movie, and I just never did anything with it. But it's a really cool idea, so I started writing. That was the first thing that I started writing, actually. Before that, I was doing art and photography. I've been doing photography since I was about 7 years old. I started photography and then got into art when I was about 10. So outside of photography. And then, let's see here, I kind of got away from everything for a little while. Went off and DJ'd for a few years, and then started getting back into art and doing commercial art, doing illustrations for magazines and all of that. When I was about 30, so about 10 years ago, I started doing illustrations for magazines and stuff. So. And like T-shirt designs and stuff like that, and then I decided that I was gonna start writing this manga series. About 3 years ago, I started working on this first project. So yeah. That's when I started working on the script for it. So, yeah.
So, when you do those illustration magazines, do you think the money that you get were enough for you, or you do it for sidelines only, for sidelines?
Um, I, it's kind of hard to understand you sometimes. Could you ask the?
Like, you get paid, right, for doing illustrating
Oh,
for magazines?
getting paid for illustrating. For the like magazines and stuff like that, I get paid. For the manga series that I'm working on, the big one that I'm working on, that one I really won't get paid until it actually goes to print. Um, I'm a little bit more focused on my novel right now, although that my novel might also be being published as a manga series as well. So that's going to be kind of I'm still trying to decide on that one. So it really depends. Getting paid for stuff on webtoons. I've got this big project coming up that based off of this movie script that I wrote. That one I'm hoping will be the first big one. I'm gonna try it on webtoons and see where that goes, and hopefully it actually gets big enough that I can get paid for that one.
Oh.
So
Ren actually asked, can you talk about what makes a good cliffhanger?
what makes a good cliffhanger? A good cliffhanger is something that makes your reader want to come back for more. You can have a cliffhanger, some people don't.
Ano ba yan?
Oh, Some people love to have a good, good cliffhanger every week, and other people it can get a little tiresome. So it, but it's something that grabs the attention of your reader and makes them want to come back for more. It makes them it it draws them to the next episode. Um, one them wanting to have more. Um, some people will do a cliffhanger at the end of a season or at the end of a book. Others will do it like from chapter to chapter. It just depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it. Sometimes it could be a little bit of a tease. You can have a good cliffhanger by teasing what's coming up. Other times you do it by holding everything in suspense as to what's going to happen next with that character. You know, and some people I've actually seen one series that did something very interesting. They actually had one of their characters in a cliffhanger situation and then didn't resolve that cliffhanger for almost 2 weeks. And what they did was they went in and went to another character's point of view first and dealt with that other character before, resolving the cliffhanger. So, you can spread out your cliffhanger. You can change it up a bit by doing stuff like that. But a good cliffhanger is something that makes your reader want to come back for more. Any other questions?
Yeah. On the subject of cliffhangers, and this isn't exactly a cliffhanger, but it's a tendency some webtoons do. How long exactly can you drag out an arc or a series on your webtoon so that how do you know where to stop so that your subscribers can still keep getting hooked to your series?
The best thing that I would say to do is the right amount of suspense is key. Sometimes you can go, you can see this with some people, or like some television series, or or some webtoon series and stuff like that. Is where they will have romantic tension. We'll just go with romantic tension because that's what a lot of people get hung up with. Is how long is too long before you say yes? If your readers are starting to get bored by it and it just seems like it's the same thing over and over and over again every week or whenever you publish, they're not going to stick around very long. But if it's something new that's getting in the way of the resolution, but it's something new, you can kind of drag it out a little bit further. Something that's, a new situation. So always having the same issue come up over and over and over again where nothing ever resolves does get tiring and it gets boring, and you will start to, your readers will start getting fed up with that type of storytelling. Like with one of my characters in the story that I'm my novel series, the situation with their, them getting to yes gets resolved early or earlier in the story, almost halfway through the story, but it doesn't resolve the tension of the relationship. So, basically I'm trading one thing for another. So I'm not keeping them strung along for the entire book. I'm resolving one issue, but going into a completely different issue about about halfway through or a third of the way through. So it depends on how long you plan to draw something out as to how long you can get away with it. But like I said, if it's the same issue repeated, people get tired of it.
Ren asks, okay, for episodic writing, what constitutes a good episode for you? Do you have a checklist or things you have you must have in an episode release?
Um, a good episode is an episode that moves the story forward, or that puts the characters into a new situation. If you know, I mean, I say that, but then I see some of these. It depends on you're talking about episodic writing there, so you can with episodic writing you can kind of just you know are you really having do you have an overarching story that you're thinking of when you're doing episodic writing? um, you know some series will do that where each week nothing major really happens, but their characters kind of grow. um, but if you're doing it and you start out with a problem, you resolve the problem, and then at the end of that chapter, the characters right back where they started, so they didn't really learn anything when you go into the next episode. That can be a problem for episodic writing. Um, you know, so basically with episodic writing, though, basically think of every episode as a 3-act structure. So, yeah, like you would instead of a 3-act structure for a book where everything takes place over the entire book, everything happens within the chapter um, or episode. So you've got a beginning, middle, and end. So you've at the beginning you've got you come up to your problem. The middle or the biggest portion is them trying to resolve the issue, and then the ending is your conclusion or the resolution. That's really your checklist for episodic writing. And that's really what you've got to do for episodic writing. You can't say that there's one checklist fits all for episodic writing. Now, if you do have an overarching story that every so many episodes you hint at the story moving forward with those characters or whatever, I would have a checklist for that. This is what I want the characters to eventually get to. But for each episode themselves, you can kind of make those up on the spot as you go along, as long as it fits within the overarching concept of the story that you're wanting to tell. Any other questions?
Nothing. Okay. Can we talk about MangaFY?
Yeah.
Everyone know here what is MangaFY? Or no? Hi, PK.
Um, let's see here. Yeah. Do this real quick.
For MangaFY, then ask, what's your long-term vision for MangaFY?
Long-term vision for MangaFY. Basically, I want to see MangaFY as a one place, like a one-stop place for creators where you can find, where you can post work, find work, manage the work that you've got, and publish the work that you've got, or get it to the point of where you publish it on whatever platform that you're wanting to publish it to, and even help you find publishers. That's one thing that I want to see for it is us help you find publishers. If you're wanting to go to print or anything like that. Let's see here. I am going to... is there any questions that anybody has specifically about MangaFY or how to do something?
So that's how
Let's
MangaFY website.
This is the MangaFY website. Right now I'm on my profile. I don't know if everybody's set up their profile yet or not, but you're able to go in and create a portfolio and all of that, and upload even, script ideas and stuff like that, whatever you want to publish on there. And then you've also got your projects. Let's see here. Did I create a chapters? All right, so you're now able to actually have chapters and upload images for those chapters and even preview them. And it looks like something's going on with it. All right. Gonna have to talk to Max about that. There we go. Let's try that. And it's still... All right, he wanted me to show how to do something, and it's just not.
can try sharing the link in Facebook and open it.
Let's see here.
That's how mine works.
Yep. Nope. There seems to be a problem with it.
Oh my. What's happening?
Um. That's the chat. Oops. Did not mean to do that.
Ren said, I like the design of the website. Good job on that.
Especially the
Especially,
adorable angry
it's,
bunny.
it's really cute.
All right.
You know, I really like the easy feel of the entire website. It reminds me so much of, not exactly so much, but the same homey vibe as Pagey World before. Man, I missed that site.
Yeah.
It closed. And I really like the collaboration touch to
Oh,
it
yeah.
too. So that's really welcome.
Yeah. And then you've you've also got the option to have people support you by buying you a boba.
Oh, that
Um,
is so cool.
so you can choose between $1, $3, and $5. And it goes through PayPal. For some reason, it's not wanting to show, but we can look at the character sheets and stuff like that as well. But with the character sheets, you're able to do, name their characteristics, character type, whether they're protagonist or not. You can also put in their personality, their backstory. You know, this is just basic. This is just me playing around with it and stuff like that as we've been getting everything set up. But there is one other thing that I would like to show y'all if y'all want. I don't know if you've seen them or not, but I've actually got. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but it's a digital business card. And it's got like an IR code and all that on the back. But you're depending on where you're at, you can get them, and you tap them on people's phones and stuff like that when they come up to you. Let's see here. See here. And it'll pull up something like this where it's got all of your information and stuff like that, so that you can quickly share it. I've got like my webcomics in there and stuff like that. So and videos that I'm doing, my own website and all of that on mine. So I do recommend having something like this as well to help promote yourself. And then I've also got my actual website where I've got different projects that I'm working on, and some of my art, and like these are some of the illustrations and stuff like that that I've done for magazines and all of that. So
Is that traditional? Digital.
do what?
Digitally drawn? Those illustrations.
Yes. I drew these for some magazines.
It's amazing.
Then I've also got let's see here, the page promoting my webtoon series, Adventures in Parenthood. So if you get the chance, check it out. Oops, did not mean to do that. Why did you take me to a different page? There we go. So yeah, this is one of the series that I'm currently working on. But for some reason, the actual website for MangaFY is being a little finicky right now with what Max wanted me to show, and yeah. Let's see here. Are there any other questions or?
Oh, we have MangaFY collaborate a Christmas one.
Do want to pull something up real quick. Find it. Trying to find the information right now on the competition or the collaboration between MangaFY and Clip Studio Paint, or All right. Just so everybody knows that there is a competition being put together by MangaFY and Clip Studio. Going to be making a one-shot manga for the competition. Let's see here. Just you can find the information on the Facebook group, also on let's see here. They didn't give me all the information, and
I think the Clip Studio needs students, so we're joining, but we are joining another contest.
yeah. So I do know that there's something coming up with that. So or that that's starting. So I'm trying to figure out because it's not really looking like a competition the way that it's worded. So. And I'm not sure if we're if MangaFY, people of MangaFY are competing against somebody else. So they didn't give me all of the, Angelica didn't give me all of the information on it. So I've got to clarify that with her. Thought I had all the information, but apparently I don't. But are there any other questions or anything else that anybody would like to talk about?
There's the Christmas collab about comic creators.
Yes.
Yes.
There is the Christmas collaboration, or the winter Christmas collaboration. There is that. So if you're interested in that, you can do a search for that on the group.
Deadline will be December 20th.
Right. So it's 8 days left on that. So
Join us.
any other questions or comments?
Okay. Maybe let's talk about how to earn as illustrator. How did you get hired in the past in your illustrations magazines?
I've got an agent that would find me jobs with different magazines and stuff like that. I've also I've got a literary agent that I'm working with for the publishing of my book. They're the ones helping me get everything together for that and work with the publishing companies. So if you're wanting to publish publish your series in a manga, you will need to look for a literary agent, and they'll be the ones to help you get everything together for that. Um, it
Do
you,
you
you
hire them?
um they work for you, but they get paid by what they by getting you published. So they get like a they get a percentage, um, generally about 10 or 20% depending on your contract.
Like a manager like that?
Yeah, exactly. They're the you take them your manuscript, and they will take it and run it by different. They'll run it to different publishing companies, and that's how you get published. So just being an illustrator, like I was doing for magazines and stuff like that, is a little different than working for than trying to get a book published. Um, so yeah. Basically, with the contracts for magazines and stuff like that, I would get offers, and I get to choose what I want to work on. My agent would bring me stuff, and then I pay my agent a finder's fee for finding me work. And I got into that while I was in college, actually, for art. I was actually going to school for photography and filmmaking at the time, and part of the schooling for film, for photography, is art classes. So I'd have to take drawing and all of that, and I would I my instructor thought that what I was doing was really good, and she submitted my name to an agent, and I started getting work doing drawings and illustrations. So sometimes it is who you know as to getting certain jobs, but an agent really helps. And once I got my foot in the door with an agency is when I really started making the money doing work.
How's the how do you do contracts? Like, how do you price your work?
Um, it really depends. Since I'm focusing more on writing, lately I haven't been doing that as much, or just doing work for myself lately. But with the contracts for the illustrations for the magazines, those contracts were done through my agent, and so all of the legal paperwork was taken care of by my agent. So that saved me a lot. So I never really dealt with that much. You know, so it really depends. You know, when I hire an artist to do work for me, it's more of an employment contract versus an artist contract. So there is that. So it depends on the type of work that you're doing as to how you get paid. If and whether or not you retain the rights to the work that you're doing.
But you do price your work, right? Like you tell your agent how much do you want to get?
It basically depends on like some of the illustrations, like go back to my website real quick. So this illustration right here, this one of John Wayne and Jeff Bridges. That one was done for a magazine for a movie review, and that drawing is done in pencil. That's color pencil, and it was almost a full size poster. That one took me nearly 2 weeks to do, with everything that I had to do on it. And so and that was working 8-hour days on that. So it just really depends on, and that one I made about $2,000 on.
Wow.
So, it, like I said, it really depends on, how much time I spend on something. If I'm working on a project like that, I'm making about $1,000 a week.
Is it personal art or
Do what?
commercial? Commercial art?
Yeah,
Work?
commercial art.
It's really amazing.
This one down here was pencil. This half-track vehicle was pencil. That one took me about a week. That one was about the size of a regular piece of paper. And that one I got paid about $1,000 for. So it depends on how long it takes me as to how much I kind of figure out how long something's going to take me. Some things I can do within minutes. Other things it's going to take a little while to do. It's kind of like my photography. That's I've got some photo pieces that I've done that sell for a few $100s. So, and I sell copies of those. And if it's an exclusive photo, then it may pay a little bit more. But my photography's art pieces, basically. So. Here. Let's see if are there any other questions?
Oh yeah. Art wise, will there be any art seminars or something like this in the future?
Um,
Webinar?
I'm sorry.
Yes, there will be more webinars in the future.
Oh, that would be cool. I'm going to look forward to that.
Yes. We will invite in the future a famous webtoonist.
Ooh.
By the way, how do you do that?
hmm?
Your profile, your DK's profile, how is it moving?
I'm sorry. What?
Is that virtual? His profile?
I'm having a hard
Oh.
time hearing.
I'm sorry, I can't hear that.
Yeah, I'm
I
having
didn't
a hard
quite
time
catch
hearing
that.
your question.
About her profile, the boy was moving.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a virtual avatar, and it's rigged to my face, so whenever I'm talking, he talks too.
How? Teach me.
Yeah, I also talk about art stuff whenever I have the time, so yeah, it's also on YouTube. And yeah, I'm actually here to learn a lot about new stuff and to well listen to how other creators are doing their work. So yeah, it's been a really insightful afternoon.
What do you do? Do you do comics or
A little bit of both. I'm an illustrator, a writer, and a VTuber on the side. Maybe voice acting too, just for fun. So yeah, I might actually try to voice act some of the people's creations whenever I have the time.
Cool.
Oh yeah, I do have a question about MangaFY stuff because I'm pretty new to this collaboration feature. How does this actually work?
In what way?
So when somebody posts a collaboration on the website, how do people kind of join here? Do they have a shared folder or something? I haven't fully explored this one.
Okay. What happens? Here I can. Let me pull up the MangaFY site, and then right here, this tab that says collabs at the top. If you click on it,
Yeah.
it'll give you a list of all the collaborations that are out there. And you can go through them and read the synopsis and figure out if it's something that you would be interested in working on. And then once you find something that you like, you can just click on it and then click on contribute. And it'll let you go from there. Let's see here. Some of them actually, let's see here. See, and once you join it, it'll actually let you go in, and it gives you the extra tabs that you're able to go in and actually see all the
Oh,
different features and all of that.
whoa! It's really cool that they also have a team chat.
Yeah,
I'll try that
there,
sometime.
yeah, there's
This
team
is so
chat and all
cool.
that. Let's see here. If I go back to, let's see here. Right here. If you if you go under comments, you can actually see what everybody's saying in the chat and all that, and and like if you notice, like here it's saying what they're looking for. Since I'm already joined this collaboration, it's not giving me the option to join since I'm already joined, but um, it, this is what it would look like once you've joined, and it gives you comments and stuff like that. And then if let's see here, if I go back to the collaboration that I have, so like this one, I'm looking for people to make stickers and stuff like that. If you go into settings, it gives you the option of creating a custom social link, but it also gives you the option of for the boba tea. So if you create a project, if you're the writer or whatever, um, you're able to put in your PayPal information, email for that, and you're able to put in your project description. So there is all of that.
It's awesome.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, so there's your team chat.
This is really cool. Yep. I'm going to
So
be having fun with this website.
yeah, so there is there is all of there's and there's more stuff coming. We're actually going to be working on a marketplace where you can create so say if a writer wants to write a synopsis for a story, they can list it up and sell the synopsis of the story. Or if you're a character designer, you're able to create design characters, and
So adopt.
people are able to, somebody would be able to come in and purchase your character that you've created to put in their story. So if you want to if you're needing ideas and stuff like that, so that's also going to be an idea that we're working on too. So um, yeah, that's coming.
It's pretty cool. Is there going to be like uh something like a job board also, so that people can come post stuff like they're looking for to hire these people, that that
Uh,
people, that person?
yeah, that's under the collaborations right now, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Where's that?
So let's see here. So like this one here is looking for a cover artist. Um, uh, so if you want to contribute to that, and it tells you that it's a free job.
Okay, okay.
If let's see here, let's try this one. They're currently not looking for anything, but you could still try to sign up for them. Some people work solo. Some people are looking um, um, for artists and stuff like that. I need to talk to Max about actually putting it so that it's got so that it shows that there's jobs available. See, this one's not looking for anything. They don't even have anything in the description. Same with that one. See, it needs to, there needs to be an, let's see here. If we select Illustrator under Artist Type, come on, select. There we go. No. Let's try cover artist. See if for some reason not everything is working right now. So please bear with us as you're using the site. It's still a work in progress. So bear with us.
It's already looking good, so no worries.
Yeah. So it is a work in progress. Basically everybody using it right now is a beta tester. So there's a lot of stuff that will be coming down the road. A lot of stuff that's still in the works. Like here's one. Okay. So this job here, Starseed, they're looking for an inker. They're looking for to pay. I don't know if that's per page or what, but they're looking to pay $25 for inker, letterer, colorist. You know, so and then you just select that you want to contribute. You click on the job, and so yeah. But hopefully we can get a job tab up here soon. I'll have to add that to the list of things for Max to add to the site, so that we can so that it's a little easier to find stuff. Any other questions? Well, if nobody else has anything else, we've gone for
so
about
far.
and we've gone for an hour and a half. But if let's see here. So guess I'll leave it with that, unless there's any more questions.
Is that a time lapse?
Do what?
Time lapse, or you are?
Yeah, it's one of my time lapse videos.
Anyway, for today, thank you so much for having us here and for the invite too.
Oh yeah.
I'll keep an eye out for other invites as well in the future because I'm liking how MangaFY is going. So, yeah, hoping I here's to hoping I could call up with some of the artists in the near future, I guess. So, yeah, thanks you so much.
Yep. You're welcome. It's nice having you.
Likewise.
And
See you guys around.
hopefully we get to see some of your projects soon.
Definitely. I've only just started uploading some of my works. So, yeah, I'll see you guys around. Thank you.
But definitely post some of your stuff to your profile on MangaFY and share your profile link with us so that we can follow you there and see what you're doing. So.
Of course. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one.
No.
You too.